morning. So the group that I go to is a big book study. We read out of the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And the last few days, all the readings have become, it's just more and more apparent to me. I don't know how I read the big book for that many years, and I didn't see them talk about the thinking, the insane thought that wins out, right? The thinking before the drink. And in my particular group right now, and this happens, I don't care what group you go to, but it seems like relapse happens in little groups. Like it's like a little thing, right? And my experience at that treatment center that I ran, it was the same way. If somebody relapsed, they usually took a few people with them. And I always encourage people when you're new, if you're going to go out and drink, just don't take anybody with you. Okay, go ahead and go. Leave everybody alone. But there's something about that misery loves company that it's, or people, what happens is the thinking gets triggered. Like, okay, my friend Lois just left, and I'm so sad about that. And, oh, I'm so disappointed, and I'm so sad she relapsed, and it's going to make me relapse, right? Well, that's just not the case. Your mind was already looking for a reason. Your mind is constantly looking for a reason to drink and use again. Your alcoholism, the mental illness in your thinking right there, is constantly looking for a problem. So that's why I think people, when you hate somebody in Alcoholics Anonymous, it's usually the person that's helping you. You'll grab onto the closest person and blame someone, right? What's it going to be? Is it going to be, what's going to take me out today? Is it going to be anger and resentment? Are you going to piss me off? You're going to say something I don't like? Cut me off during my share? Right? Is it going to be self-pity? I'm so sad because so-and-so went out. Is it going to be guilt and remorse? Oh my God, I've been a terrible mother and I just can't take it. I can't stand myself. Is it going to be something wonderful? Like, I've got 30 days. Woohoo, I think I can drink again. Or I just got through this funeral and settling the estate for my parents, I really deserve a drink, I was a big drinker like that. I used to, I give myself rewards, I was so sick at the end. So, if I vacuumed, I'd be like, yay! I can have a drink, I used it as a reward system. So, alcoholism is just constant. It's like this constant little machine in there. And they talk about it in the book. I never saw it so much. I thought they were talking about the drinking, but they're not. They're talking about the thinking, right? And I want to tell you something. The thinking, mental illness is, Jesus, it's so bad. Let's see if I can connect this for you. When you are suffering from that kind of mental turmoil, you have got to shut it off. And I was reminded this morning of a story. I told a story this morning in my meeting. There was a few of them. But when I worked at that treatment center, one day, I was new at this. And we'd get people in and they detox and on, and they're going to get well. And we're just going to move on happily ever after. But one day I came out of the kitchen and there was an outside foyer, right? And the gate to come in. Right, there was a closed gate. It wasn't locked. It was locked from the outside, so people couldn't come in, but people could leave. It was not a locked facility. So anyway, I came walking out of the kitchen, and this girl who had just finished detoxing was walking towards me, and she had this look on her face like she had checked out. I couldn't see her. I couldn't connect. She looked at me, but we couldn't. There was nobody home, right? And I thought, good mother, mother of God, what's happened to this woman, this child, right? Here she comes, and she's looking at me, and I thought, oh my God, and she walked right past me and right out the gate. She didn't pack a bag. She didn't grab her cell phone. She didn't say nothing to me. She walked straight out the gate, and I thought, oh my God, she needs to have a drink. Like, she, right this minute, has to get loaded. And I saw that look again a few times when all of a sudden something would happen. This one girl jumped over the fence. She was in her underpants and a t-shirt, and she took off running down that street like someone was chasing her with a gun. She needed to get drunk right now. See, the detox had happened. They removed the drugs and the alcohol, but she didn't have a spiritual answer yet. There was no treatment for the problem, right? That's why people get so desperate and they drink hand sanitizer or antifreeze. I mean, you hear these stories and you think, oh my God, why would you drink rubbing alcohol? Or, that's why. We talk about this like, go to AA, kumbaya, unicorns, and yay, I'm spiritual. Praise God, whatever. No, I'm trying to tell you, the reason I do this is I worked with those people and I saw, and I had to be completely honest with myself. I have that disease. I have a mental illness that must be treated. I don't have a choice. I mean, I see people post these posts like, day one again, I got this. You don't even know what you're dealing with here. You're dealing with a killer. A killer. It's like Freddy Krueger, right? You are dealing with a slasher, a murderer who wants to kill you and your family. And if it seems like I'm being dramatic, I'm not. I'm not. Maybe you're not down as far the scale of alcoholism as some of us got, but it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. You do not have to be a brown bag under the bridge drinker to die from alcoholism. No, you don't. Unfortunately, I've had a lot of people I know die of this disease, drink themselves to death right in their house, watching the stock market, and just drank themselves right to death. So, this is a serious illness, and it takes effort. And if you don't, that thinking that starts before the drink starts long before you pick up the drink. That's why pages 86, 87, and 88 is so important. That's the 11th step. 10, 11, and 12 are your maintenance steps, and you need to do them daily, because what will happen is a resentment, a fear, a sex problem, something will start. And it starts slow, and it's setting up your exit, and you don't even know it's happening. It's happened to me, and I pray to God it's not happening right now, because you don't know what's happening. A girl called me yesterday and said, I'm out, I'm drinking, right? She told me she woke up in a bad place, and we kind of did this thing, and we got to a Zoom meeting together, and 2 seconds after the Zoom meeting, she was drunk in a bar, drinking. And text me, I wasn't even off Zoom yet, and, I get that. I am that person, right? But the thing is, it's not what happened in the morning. It's what happened. It happened days ago. And nobody knew. Nobody said anything. Nobody saw it, right? But that seed started planting. The insane idea started, right? I always say there's two kinds of people in AA. There's those trying to get in and those trying to get out. I don't believe there's anybody in there that's just there and I've made it and I'm fine. I think you just don't know. You're a boy whistling in the dark. You have no idea that, I've seen alcoholism even allow people like, it didn't even bother me, right? It'll give you some rope, just enough so you hang yourself. It fucks with you. And it's all in here. Your own thinking is out to kill you. You must have a higher power. No human power can keep you sober. You gotta find a spiritual answer. It's in the steps. And as scary as all of this sounds that I'm telling you, you need to get on your toes. You need to be living in 24 hours a day. Start with the morning meditation. End with the evening. Clean that shit up. Don't let anything start building in here. No, it's like a hornet's nest, a wasp's nest. You know when you see them and they start building their little thing, that little thing, the wasps. Man, you gotta knock that down right now, because in just about 10 minutes, it's 3 times the size. And then pretty soon you got this huge thing up in your eave of your house, right, outside, and you're too scared to knock it down now with a broom. It's out of control. You got to call the man to come get it down. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but I live in California, and that's the way it is. You start seeing that come, boom, you knock that down. That's what the 11 steps for. You knock that shit down when it's little. Get rid of it. Forget it. You don't need to be right. You don't need to argue. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Forget it. Right? Because I have to stay sober, and I've got to do that in a 24-hour period, or my mind starts going. Okay? So 24 hours. Go to a couple meetings in that 24 hours and see if you can be helpful. That's steps 10 and 11 and 12. That's how you stay sober. That and a lot of grace. Right? It's a miracle where any of us have gotten sober. Really. So don't be confused. Okay? This disease is out to kill you. You cannot trust it for a minute. Run your idea past somebody. Ideas, I love it when someone new comes up to me and says, I've been thinking. I go, oh, fuck. Jesus Christ, you poor thing. Don't do that. If you're new, go to meetings, take direction. Stay in the moment. Oh, and if you want to see more of my videos, I post them all on YouTube. So if you need a place to go and see them all, go to YouTube and subscribe. Have a great day.